In this video, we're going to take a look at American options on futures contracts, and I've set out some detail here, a little bit the histories of options on futures. There was a lot of innovation in the 1980s, but a number of contracts became quite prominent. In particular, the CBOT Treasury bond futures started to trade in the early 1980s. And also options on commodity futures as well became quite popular. So just to implement some static VBA code here in Excel, just to demonstrate a little bit how to capture the code and then implement in Excel, we can just copy. And again, this is static code, so it tends to be a little bit slower, but useful for classroom purposes. And we'll go into Excel, and then we just need to find the Developer tab. Visual Basic, we'll insert a module, we'll paste in the code, and we might take note here the name of the function, so C or R3. Then we come back out, and basically we should have a futures price for this option, an exercise. So the parameter inputs will be consistent with the black model, but also for this VBA code, we can choose between European and American versions. So C for call, P for put, A for American. Okay, so let's go back and put in, we have a risk-free rate, we should have a time period, we should have sigma or volatility V, and FKRT sigma is the option American or European, is it a call or a put, and then we would also have to have a number of steps in the tree. Okay, so we can put in preliminary values here, maybe 100, 100, R is equal to, we can say 5%, 1 year maturity, volatility 20%, we will say American, so American or European, we're going to say American call or put, we're going to say call, and so we'll put in P, and then N, we'll go with 1,000 steps initially. Okay, so remember our function was C or R, 3F. We'll come up here then for the arguments. Okay, so the futures price is 100. K is, the exercise is 100 also. T is equal to 1 year. The risk-free rate is equal to 5%. The volatility is 20. We still have a few parameters here. And number of steps 1,000. And option type is a call. Okay, we're going with a put. And then exercise type American. Okay, so let's get the exercise type American and let's run that. And it takes a little bit of time because it is static code, and as a result will tend to be a little bit slower, and we might pause and wait for the estimation to complete. Okay, and we have an estimate here of 7.66, and again 7.66. Okay, and we have that 7.66. Maybe we'll lower the number of steps. Again, the code tends to be slow because of static memory storage. We speed up a little bit when we reduce the number of steps. We can change P to C, and there's no effect, and that's because of there is a parity condition between call colon put for American options. If we go here, E, we have 7.55. So the European option is worth less than the American option. We might take note of that. Okay, so that's that estimation.